Time for us to head to the Hume Football League report, and Phil Buffler is with us. Hey Phil, how are you?
Well, thank you, Wayne. I'm on the road today, so I've been down in on a grandfather duty, so just returning to the farm at the moment.
Oh, good stuff. Well, what about last week's Hall of Fame? A lot of grandfathers and some great support from families. I saw some grandchildren there to show their support, and the kids too of other members of the new Hall of Fame inductees of the Hume Football and Netball League.
Just a great night. 5 fantastic inductees and great venue, great MC. It's just a fantastic night. And I said last week, where we are today, we just haven't got here by accident. It's been a lot of hard work by a lot of people who have contributed to the league, and it's just a fantastic night, recognising their efforts. Grandkids are there, great grandkids in some cases, and it was just a fantastic, very, very good night. Couldn't speak highly enough of it.
Yeah, fantastic to see some faces and some smiles in the photographs, which have done the rounds since Wednesday night. What about last week, doing the rounds of football? Osborne 16-11, 107 beat Gindera 3-5-23. No one's getting close to the Tigers at the moment.
Not really. Be a good game this weekend coming up, but Gindera, that was a game that was going to test Osborne, and it tested Gindera probably, so they'd be very disappointed with that effort.
Oh, they'd be disappointed, but I noticed that Riley Watson got to 4. It was not Ryan Collins who kicked the bulk of the goals this time. They share it around. Nick Madden with 3, Collins with a couple, McAllister and O'Connell added, and Isaac McDonnell, Nicholas Madden, Edward O'Connell, Kyle Schmetzer and Riley Watson, Royce Hunter, the better players, Daniel Middleton, Lockie Date and Jacob Miller amongst it, but no multiple goal scorers for Gindera. What a big win for Ramwalbundry, but probably in the context of the season, not a bad effort from Lockhart. 17-15, 117 to Lockhart's 3-1-19.
Once again, Lockhart were competitive, but the top echelon, the better groups that are teams that are around the finals and looking to build, percentage could be important. So that was a good win to the Giants.
Was a fantastic effort, and I'm been on the Wardius watch this year. He booted another 4. He goes to 42. He's had such a magnificent season. Not one game of the year that he's not scored except the first one against Gindera. So it's been a very good season from him as the key forward. He booted that 4 goals to be high up in the better players. Jack Dugg, also Thomas Holman and Nicholas Colhagen played well. Abraham Wooden, Brody Guthrie and Matthew Musgrave for the boys out of the Lockhart D's, and James McDermott, a couple of goals for them. And having a look at the Billabong Crows going down to Culcairn in a thriller, 8-9, 57 to 6-5, 41. It was on the line right up until in the last quarter. So great effort from the Crows at home at Urana, but Culcairn got the win, and it was a necessary one for them.
Good win. They're probably about similar positions on the ladder, so that was a good win to Culcairn. Crows, as you said, the Crows played well, and once again, a little bit like Lockhart, they always battle on the Crows. They've got a very good supporter base, but that was a good win to Culcairn.
It was. Nathan Cook and Nick Morris kicked a couple apiece for the vanquished, and it was Iridian and Tim Austin, Zach Kerr joining Morris. Charlie Sandrell, one of the young guns of that club, coming through well. Jack Chesser 4 for Culcairn, and James White and Brady Peake got amongst it in the better players out of the middle. Big win here, though, for Holbrook, the one that we didn't expect this margin. 19-17, 131 to how long? 5-6, 36. And the Spiders, well, they just got trodden on by a very large boot.
They did indeed. I was talking to a few people at the Hall of Fame dinner, and they said Holbrook played very, very well. So this is it's interesting, really. Like, they were down a little bit a couple of weeks ago against Osborne Holbrook, but they've obviously been stung a bit by that. And to beat Howland were arguably the form side of the comp, almost other than Osborne. So that's a huge win to Holbrook. It really stamps their authority going into the finals.
Certainly does, and Luke Guest stamps his authority in the goal kicking too. He's had an absolute blinder of a season, and he came out and he nailed them with another 7, and he goes to a massive total of the season, 59, in real good form for him. Great effort. Todd McNamara led the way for how long in that match. Having a look at the other games, Henty and Brock Burham, what a game. Gee, Henty, if they did everything to win it, and probably their finals hopes are now gone, but Brock Burham 13-4, 84-82 to Henty 12-7, 79, and they tell me that this one could have gone either way.
Close all day, Wayne. I was at that game, so I wanted to go and check out the new Henty facilities, which just look fantastic. So sort of seesawed all day. That game could have gone either way, but they're just too strong at the end, the BB Saints. So that was a good win to them. Confidence going into the finals.
It was a fantastic win. Spencer back with 4 goals to lead the way for his side. Sam Turlich booted 3. So Spencer having a pretty good season on 47 for the year, and Turlich also having a fantastic year. And again, he's right up there in the goal kicking for the year. So a great effort from those 2 players up forward. And Shannon Turlich that was named the best player for his side after he kicked those 5 goals and 45 for the season. And on the other side of it for Brock Burham, they named Tyson Neander, Harry Weaven and John Spencer for their good players. The final match that we've got to look at was CDHBU 19-10, 124 to Murray Magpies, 5-7-37. The CDHBU, what a big win for them, but also just keeps the slim finals hope alive if games went their way.
Could be mathematically possible. That was a very good win. It was a bit of a case of what could have been sometimes with the CDHBU this year. There's a couple of games I'll regret not doing a little bit better on earlier on, but yeah, that's a great win.
They got some stars that could play at the next level and have probably played over in the Albury League, but Brent Rose is one of them. Nathan Rhodes also was good, and Michael Collins amongst it. Stephen Caldwell with 4, and Collins and Kirk Smith with 3 to each to Kohler and Valentine for the Magpies. Having a look at where we are on the ladder, and the placings have it like this. Osborne with 56 points, Holbrook 48. Both of them are safe. It's Howlong with 40. They look like they'll take 3rd place. Brock Burham, though, closing in on them at 36, could still make the ground. Ranwell Bundry at 32, look there. And then it's Ginder at 28, Calcan 26 and CDHBU 22. They're the combatants for the top 6 places. So you've got 3 sides, Ginder, Calcan and CDHBU, still in the hunt for that the very elusive 6th spot on the ladder there, Phil.
Thereabouts, Wayne. So that's the problem. So you go back to those early games, you drop early in the season, and you just think, what could have been, so not sure how that's going to pan out. So every week's the final for those 3 sides from now on in.
Oh, it certainly is. And, gee, we've only got the 4 rounds of matches to complete the season, which is still a few, to be honest. Some leagues are down to 3 matches to go. This is 4 matches. So there's still plenty of time for those sides to get there, and those mathematical equations, the calculators on Saturday night start to come out. Osborne play Howlong. The calculator will come out, but I reckon it'll be the margin here. Osborne, I think, will beat Howlong, even though it's down at the Spider Ground. Can they respond from last week, Phil?
I think they will. They're up and about a bit. How long? They had an inductee, Peter Morris, into the Hall of Fame on Wednesday night. On that day, it's going to be televised and all in sport. That'll be our match of the round, so that'll be on live. And they've got 2 grand final reunions, and they're having one of their players is playing his 250th game. So, and it's at home, so everything, they've got to be up and about for this game. So I'm expecting a lot closer game. Once again, I'm not sure. I think Osborne might be a little bit strong, but I'm expecting a huge improvement from Holbrook given all those circumstances.
Rightio, yeah. All right, that's a good point, actually. And the reunion is crucial. Those always bring out the best in the home club. Murray Magpies have got home deck, but not because they're moving this back to Henty because of the earlier season. And Henty get a home deck, and Henty should beat the Murray Magpies comfortably.
I think they will. The Magpies will be trying. Henty have got 7 or 8 games at home because of all the buildings early on in the season. So that there's a lot of impost on the staff and the volunteers at the club. But I think Henty will be too strong there.
Gindera should beat Lockhart comfortably over at Lockhart.
I think so, Wayne. Gindera are good. They'll be smarting after last week, and they'll be looking to get a bit of a percentage. 4 games left. There's 16 points up for grabs, so they'll want every point they can get. Match
of the round. Got to be the CDHBU at Careen against the old foe from the old Careen footy district, the Billabong Crows. I'll tell you what, earlier in the season, we had a star that came and played for the Billabong Crows, and he snatched a victory for them on that day, Dane Swan. I reckon the CDHBU power will be smarting, and with the finals hope up their sleeve, they might just come out and beat the Crows.
He made a big difference, Wayne. That was a great day, really, for the league and for the Crows. Dane Swan was up and about and played well. Fantastic crowd. Bad luck that the CDHP people actually got them on the day, but they'll be smarting after that. So I was talking to a few of them on Wednesday night, and they fancied their chance for CDHPU.
I reckon they'll win the game. Randwill Bunbury-Waller play Holbrook in another match of the round. Probably we've expected that Rand will take a big scalp at some point in time, and it's Bunbury. Holbrook is the opposite side. You saw them last week, but you don't think there'll be a scalp taken by the Giants? A Giant scalp this weekend?
Not sure about that. I think Holbrook is just sort of, like a lot of these good horses coming into form at the right time of the year. Sometimes, you cop a defeat and it just sort of motivates you for the rest of the season. So I think that defeated at Holbrook when they got beaten by Osborne. They sort of just said, right, we're not going to cop much more of that. So they played well last week, and I think they'll win this week.
All right, it's a big match for the Giants too, because they are pushing away. They will not get into the top two, obviously, but they want to show some form against the top two sides in the competition in order to show their credentials for finals. Culcairn want their credentials for finals on show. They're at home against Brock Barham. I think they have to win it. It's curtains if they don't.
This might be a pretty close game, this game. The BB Saints have been up and down a little bit all year. They've played a good game, then have sort of fallen away, and there's been no rhyme or reason for their season, really. They have had a few injuries, and the COVID's been a bit of an issue out that way, but no excuses. Every club's getting that. Culcairn have had some good games, and they've let a couple of slip. So Culcairn at home would be a chance here.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Brock Barham. I think they'll respond. Culcairn, if they did win the game, it'd still be outside, because I think Ginger will still get their win and stay above them. But the CDHBU are the key here, because they could get a win and some percentage if they do beat the Billabong Crows by a bit, and that could then put them right back into contention in the last three rounds. It is a fascinating season. It's been a Hall of Fame season. It's been a wonderful opportunity to talk to Phil Buffler, who's live with us as we speak. So great to have your company, Phil, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Good on you, Wayne. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you.